Good morning, Azeroth. Good morning, Azeroth. This is Neall, your friendly warrior tank from Medivh, and I help people earn achievements. And this is Good Morning Azeroth for Monday, the 12th of September, 2016. This is Neall's attempt to bring you all the news from around the world of Warcraft, and we start with our top story, which was Friday's developer Q&A with Ian Hazakostas. If you want to see the live stream or a video on demand version of the live stream, you can go to twitch.tv/warcraft/profile. This will bring up their past broadcast, and the top one is the Legion Q&A with Ian Hazakostas. I watched on Friday. That's why we actually didn't have a show on Friday. So we could bring you the update on the Q&A today. MMO Champion has a great bulleted list of all the things that they talked about again. So at MMO Champion, one of their stories is about the developer Q&A. Certainly the other sites that we go to have a recap of the Q&A as well. They talked about a little bit about the Order Hall and how bad it feels that once you finish your class Order Hall campaign, you're immediately deactivating 2 champions so that you can go do more missions. There are 8 champions that you can have with your class Order Hall right now. 5 of them can be active at a time, so 3 deactivated once you have all of them collected. But that's intentional. They didn't want this to turn into the mission table from Warlords, so they wanted to limit the number of champions and limit the number of missions that you could do at any one time. They talked about the nerfing of the Rockfeather Skyhorn Kite and the Brulefist Idol, which combined gave you the effect of Aviana's Feather. They didn't want to recreate Aviana's Feather. They felt it was stepping on Engineer and Demon Hunter toes. So you can still use, and I still use my Goblin Gliders to get around the world. There's nothing that will shoot you up into the air, I guess, like the Brulefist Idol did, but they didn't want to recreate that. They thought that was bad, so they even nerfed those things. It actually didn't impact me because I actually didn't collect the things to make the kite or the idol until after they nerfed them, so I have no idea what I'm missing at this point. Leveling and dungeons, there's a ton of experience awarded from the quest that send you into dungeons at the end of each zone. This is done on purpose. They didn't want to create a dungeon leveling incentive. They didn't want people to just run dungeons to get their leveling experience. So they sort of nerfed the experience that you typically get from dungeons if you don't have a quest to go do them, so that you experience the zones, and at the same time you have to finish the zones to get the reputation that you need to open up world quests, to eventually get your flying in Draenor. So they didn't put a lot of emphasis on experience gained from running dungeons. They talked a little bit about Warlocks, a little bit. The question, and I thought this was funny, was actually Warlocks question mark. They said, yeah, there's some problems with Warlocks, and after they sort of complained a little bit about how the community was just sort of QQing in the forums, they did say they did find some constructive forum posts, and that they use those and are trying to work on improving the Warlocks. They haven't done anything to improve DPS on any classes yet. They're waiting for more data before they do that, but they realize that Warlocks are a little broken at the moment. It seems that, and I forget which spec it is, there's at least one Warlock that it takes time to build up some resource, and by the time you've built up this resource so that you can do your max damage, whatever you were building up your resource for is dead. So in world stuff and in dungeons, it seems Warlocks aren't that effective at the moment. They talked about class balance and class balance in Mythic Dungeons. It seems that melee and cleaving melee at the moment is pretty strong in Mythic Dungeons. And they said that's not a bad thing. Melee's been sort of forgotten the last couple expansions. But as we move to raids, multi-dotters that don't have to move to be able to multi-dot things that are spread out around the room might become more effective. They did talk a bit about the Order Hall, and that there's no intent at the moment to expand that story in patch 7.1, but there is more story to tell in the Order Hall, but that will come later in the expansion. One of the things that I've experienced, the Warrior Order Hall campaign is taking longer than the others. That was a mistake. They actually intended everyone's class Order Hall experience to take as long as the Warriors, but fixed everybody else's, or shortened everyone else's except the Warrior class Order Hall, so it takes the Warriors longer than anyone else to finish their class Order Hall campaign. They had a little bit of talk about the quest log, and that there's a maximum on that. There's a lot of content and players are hitting the quest log limit. The concern with the limit is how hard it will become to keep track of all the things that you're questing on. The team wants to look at the underlying causes. They recognize the non-linear leveling plus profession and order hall quests may be impacting that. So they'll look into it, but I don't think they want to give you the ability to keep 50, 100 quests in your quest log. I haven't had trouble at all. I haven't hit the cap at all. I've basically run through every zone. I did wait to finish the last quest in every zone, the one that would send me into the dungeon, the last story in every zone, until I hit 100. Not sure that you needed to do that, but that's the way that I did it. They had a lot of new tech across realm zones, so they're still sort of complaining about this. We saw this in the pre-patch where people were joining parties and then not being able to see each other. There's a lot of new tech that allows multiple copies or sharding of the map in one realm, so that at the same time zones can seem populated but not overly populated. So they've got sort of two pieces of tech, one that's allowing, if the zone is not very populated, they cross-realm them and add more people from other realms into the area so it looks populated. At the same time, if it's overpopulated, they are breaking those apart so that multiple groups of people from the same realm, there are multiple maps in the same realm, to go into that map so that it's not overpopulated. This seems to be working well. I haven't heard of many issues since pre-patch. I think they worked on something that allowed parties and guilds to remain on the same map and not shard those people so they couldn't see each other. So it seems to be working okay. They talked about Suramar and how that's gated behind reputation, and their point was this is the end game, sort of end-game questing area. The intent was you needed to be 110. They wanted to pace that out. They didn't want you to run through it all the way to the end. We're 2 weeks into the expansion, and I'm already honored, almost revered with Suramar, so I don't think it's going to take us long to finish Suramar. I do think they intend for you to gear up and level up as you work through that. There are areas that are populated with elites where you need to go do things, people that can see through your illusion. So I've not really had trouble with Suramar. People are having Suramar. They wondered if the rep gains, the rep grinds were a problem. They sort of said nope, they're working as intended. I really haven't had problems. I'm revered with 2 factions. I should be revered with 3 more very soon, if not today, tomorrow, certainly this week. The Wardens is the one that's sort of behind everyone else, since we don't have a zone to quest for them, and it's just world quest. So my imagination is I won't have trouble with rep in Legion at all. Actually hasn't really been a grind to me. Certainly just doing the world quest and doing the zones is what it's all about. There were some questions about artifact knowledge and that the way that that's working, the way that it's speeding up, the catch-up mechanics, etc., etc. So I think I've picked up 2 pieces of artifact knowledge, which is making the artifact power that I'm picking up from World Quest grow exponentially. I don't think it affected any of the treasures that I picked up around the world, and I've finished all of the treasures in all of the zones. I've killed all of the rares in all of the zones, so I've picked up all of the artifact knowledge that I can, and some of that was done before the first artifact knowledge was picked up, and some of it was done after, and I don't think it impacted at all that artifact power. They talked about the companion app, and I haven't picked that up yet, but they didn't want it to sort of interfere with game stuff, but mission table stuff, I guess auction house stuff. I'm not sure what's in the app, but they have found that people are finding that helpful. Not much more here. The auction house, this was interesting to me. They said the auction house is broken, and they realized that. They fixing this is a long-term project, but they did suggest add-ons. They didn't say that's optimal, but there are some great add-ons out there. In patch 7.1, they said this, and this was nice to hear. In patch 7.1, there may be some logic changes that would allow the auction house to sort by cost per unit rather than low cost. So right now, if you go into the auction house and there's 500 items listed, 500 pieces of, or 500 auctions of ore, for example, it currently sorts by the lowest opening bid or current bid, lowest current bid. So you, at the first of that, you see a lot of one stacks of things, one piece of ore for 5 gold, and it's not sorting at the moment to tell you that, hey, this guy's selling 10 pieces of ore and they are cheaper per unit than the one stacks that you're seeing the first 10 pages of. So the logic in the auction house may be changing in 7.1, and that would be very helpful. Now submitted, the guild finder needs some work. The Dalaran underbelly, that's been sort of interesting to me. I typically pick up a guard when I go into there, and the guard disappears from time to time, which is strange to me. Also, I had an instance the other day where I walked in, I picked up a guard, there was a rare that appeared, and they kited the rare up the ramp that leads up to Dalaran, which makes you lose your guard. So if you step out of the sewers, you're going to lose your guard. So you're still flagged for PvP, but you got no guard. So they were killing people who were trying not to be in PvP, who were trying to kill the rare. Frustrating to me, and because it was in such a tight area, the bat that spit stuff all over everywhere, it was just a mess. It was a mess. I hope they do a little more work at the Dalaran underbelly. PvP artifact power, they're taking a look at that and trying to incentivize people to do the PvP world quest. They talked a little bit about how world quests are selected randomly from different buckets of quests, and that they're seeing that they're not there's not a guy in the back room pushing buttons telling them which world quest to pop up. So there's no one saying, hey, let's get those nuts and squirrels in Val'sharah to pop again. It's some randomization on the quest and the rewards that's going on behind the scenes that certainly someone is programming, but they're not fussing with on a day-to-day basis. They talked about scaling content. Hey, would it be interesting to scale the holiday content rather than force you to be max level to go into the Headless Horseman dungeon, or the to kill the Yeti for Christmas, or the guy in Scarlet, not Scarlet, the Valentine's guy. And they said, hey, that might be an interesting thing to do, an interesting way to do those things to make it more available to all of the tunes. They didn't think they were going to go back and do old zones and stuff, but they thought that might be interesting for holiday content. All in all, I thought it was a good Q&A on Friday with Ian Hostakostas. Again, if you wanted to see the whole thing, there are links at several of the sites, like here embedded into the MMO Champion site. But if you want to see the original Twitch TV Warcraft profile, the Legion Q&A with Ian Hostakostas. If you've made it to this point in the program, thanks. We appreciate you. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe. We do this program for you every day. Also, thanks to our patrons. They make this possible. If you'd like to help Neall help other people earn some more achievements, Patreon.com. The Neal's is where it is at. That is where people are helping Neall help other people earn more achievements. We're up to 20 patrons at the moment, to 213 a month. I appreciate that. Thanks to you guys. Y'all are making this possible. And let's give a shout out to our patrons: Ragnava, Zuki, Neall, Adafluzi, Tendramova, Carl, Lucky B, Infinitron, Shigan, Fantheria, Equins, Ucha, Morasha, Petsy the Beer Guy, Lean Beef, Coco, Naughty, Dwarfy, Azaria, Noza, J, Divad, Mystical, Zelo, and Kalai. They are helping Neall help other people earn more achievements. If you'd like to sign up for cool rewards like finding out early about all the things that Neall is doing, early access to videos on achievements, go to patreon.com. The Nealls. That's where you can do it. All right, all the other news from around the world of Warcraft. If we go to Wowhead, their top story is the most popular pages on Wowhead for Legion's launch. Legion Exploration, our favorite details of each zone. They've got their Wowhead Weekly podcast, number 94, with Perculia and Panzer. What to do at level 110 in Legion, artifacts, gearing up, Suramar, World Quest, and more. What to do every day. They've got the Legion Developer Q&A. The Reigns of the Long Forgotten Hippogriff have been found. If you're interested about how to pick up your Long Forgotten Hippogriff, it's on Wowhead. We'll be covering that in a future program for sure. Blizzard Watch, blizzardwatch.com. Interesting reading always at Blizzard Watch. The Q, burning water. We've talking about our friend Nomi again. He seems to be burning water at the moment. Tough to do, but he's finding out ways to do it. Some folks even see the bear in me. Breakfast topic, well, that escalated quickly. Always interesting reading over at blizzardwatch.com. PDQ, the Pwn Cast Daily Quest site. Gearing up in Legion, they've got a guide for doing that. Your Legion developer, video on demand with Ian Hazakostas. The Cosmuth, the Hungering, complete guide to getting the World Quest. How to attune yourself so you can get the pet and the mount. We talked about that last week. The Dark Moon Fair Legion Edition. This is old news. Finishing your music roll, PAX West. And your guides to rep and dungeons and professions and artifact weapons and World Quest. They're over there at the Pwn Cast Daily Quest site. Warcraft Pet Battles. My good buddy Jimmy Banks. His new video, Meet the Maw, fast and easy strategy for Meet the Maw. I used this the other day. It worked like a charm. He's got several options for how to beat the Maw, one of the legendary pets in Legion. He's got some guides on the family achievements, Sir Galveston, Flock Together, Amelia, the Roboteer, Durian Strong, Fruit, the Aquatic, Meet the Maw, Robert Craig, Roboteer. Good guides over Warcraft Pet Battles. At warcraftpetspot.com, their top story is the Pet Battle Royale for September. The Alliance versus Horde, Flying Pets, the Gilnean Raven versus the Blight Hawk. You decide who wins. They've also got how to pick up all the pets. So I did tweet this the other day. warcraftpets.com has a great thing. It's right here. It's the Wild Pets by Zone. Wild Pets by Zone. So if you go under warcraftpets.com, their Pets tab, Wild Pets by Zone. If you click on that, it can then filter all the pets by zone. So I pick Broken Isles, and I pick, so Dalaran. I want to include the Wild Pets, and it will show me all the pets that I could collect in Dalaran. There are 3. The Blind Rat, the Dust Bunny, and the Young Mutant War Turtle. These are the ones that you could battle and collect, trap. So I used this filter along with Wowhead to go and collect all the pets. I finished my Broken Isle Safari by using this filter and Wowhead to show me where the pets are in the different zones. Certainly Dalaran's pretty easy. Blind Rat's in the sewers. Young Mutant War Turtle is in the sewers. The Dust Bunny, you click on some rugs around the city and the Dust Bunnies populate the city. But the other zones are a little more spread out, so if you click on Stormheim, you'll see there are several more pets in Stormheim, not that many. Some of them are multiple zones, so Stormheim and Azuna, depending on where you start, you may have already collected them. So just note that. Some of them are only in Stormheim, like this Golden Eagle, only in Stormheim. The Rose Taipan, only in Stormheim. Stormstruck Beaver, only in Stormheim. So this filter was great to help me collect all of the pets in the Legion. About that, back at Hazel Nutty Games, you can see she's got a new video, Top 10 Legion Pet Battle Pets. Top 10 new battle pets in Legion. I have not checked that out yet. I'm curious to see if I've collected all of those pets yet. Hazel Nutty Games. She's also got 2 pet strategy guides for most of the new Legion pet battles. Hazel Nutty Games on YouTube. At the MMO Champion, hidden artifact appearances, a note from the WoW team, Warlock Q&A follow-up. So they've got some information on some of the hidden Paladin, Arcane, Mage, Demonology, Warlock, hidden appearances, a note from the WoW team, welcome back to Legion. J. Allen Brack said, hey, it went smoothly, thanks to everyone working behind the scenes. They did a Q&A summary, some Warlock feedback. Again, we just talked about all of that. There's a new studio, Bonfire Studios, created by several folks that used to work at Blizzard. They're over there at Bonfire Studios now creating games. Comic update, Dark Legacy Comics number 551. Legion developer Q&A, we already talked about that. They've got the Illidan cinematic, September 8th hotfixes. I have not watched that yet because I don't want to spoil myself. Patch 7.03 hotfixes, all of this at mmochampion.com and at Icy Veins. Icy Veins on their World of Warcraft. Undying doesn't stop the elite from chasing you. That's funny. Gold making the Sky Golem. Fun fact about Hearthstones you may not know. The Steamy Orb Death Cave. This is part of attuning to Kazumeth the Hungering. Blizzard on Legion launch and future. 5 things you should do every day. I think those are pretty... You should know those already. But you should be advancing your class order hall campaign. You should be picking up a rep with as many factions as possible. You should be doing all of the things in Suramar that you can do. And the Hippogriff mount has been found. So just, don't overdo it, but, try to advance all of the things. Focus. You can't do it all. Take care of it. Also, go back to Wowhead. We can see what's going on around. Here's there today in Broken Isles, all of the world quests that are up today. It looks like Dreamweavers, Quarter Ferrandis, and the Nightfallen are the 3 folks, if you haven't completed all of their things, that would be up today. Here are the world quests for each of those guys. The world event, the Harvest Festival, is back. I didn't even notice that the Harvest Festival came in. I haven't even checked it out. WoW token's been hanging out at an all-time low, at least for the length of time that we've been doing this program. We can go into the game and see where the WoW token is right now. Go to the shop. WoW token, 20 bucks, 35,339. So that's up. It was below, I think, 34,000 over the weekend. So if you're looking to buy game time, it is still pretty low. Still pretty low. Would recommend go ahead and getting your game time if you're looking to do it. Also, keep up with Neal. While you're doing that, like, share, subscribe if you've made it to this point in the program. We appreciate you. We do this show for you guys every day. Like, share, subscribe. Also, keep up with Neal. One of the best way to keep up with Neal is Twitch TV. The Neals, we are streaming live to the internet right now, even though this appears paused. We have 456 followers. Once we get to 500 followers, we're going to give away more pets and mounts. We gave away mounts at 100. We gave away pets and mounts at 250 at 500. We're giving away pets and mounts. Go ahead and follow us over at Twitch TV. The Neals, there are links below the Twitch stream to all the places that you can keep up with us. The Facebook page, the Twitter page, the Open Raid group, the Guild website, the YouTube channel, the Patreon. They're all linked below. If you click on those boxes, they will take you to those places. The Guild is Shattered Fates on Medivh, Shattered Fates on Exodar. If you're on the Medivh Exodar servers and you're looking for a guild, we are looking for you. Medivh, Shattered Fates on Medivh is the Alliance Guild. Shattered Fates on Exodar is the Horde Guild. Medivh and Exodar are connected realms. So if you're on the Medivh or Exodar servers and you're looking for a guild, shatteredfates.com is where you can check us out. Also, I'm on Facebook. And I friend back, facebook.com. I am Neal on Medivh, and I a friend back on Facebook. I'm on Twitter at the Neals on Twitter, and I follow back at the Neals. On OpenRaid, openraid.zergid.com. I am in a group called, well, my group there is called Achieve More. The Achieve More group, helping you to achieve more in the World of Warcraft. Lots of people helping you do lots of things in the World of Warcraft, including Kabas, who's currently running Heroic TOT and Mythic SOO on the weekly. He's doing those on Friday afternoons. And the only event up at the moment is Show Me Your Moves for Tuesday, September 27th. We plan to add some events later this week, or later this month, or perhaps first week of October. We've got to level some alts before we start running those events. Keep an eye out. We'll keep you informed. Also, that's openraid.zergid.com. Also, we're on YouTube. YouTube.com. I am Neal on Medivh. Those are videos to all the things that I have done. Good Morning Azeroth, all the episodes. That one time, sometimes funny things that happen that we've captured. Those Legion World Achievements, Exploration, Questing. Next up should be Fishing Achievements, so Profession Achievements. Fishing will probably be the next one. I'll do one video that shows you how to do all the fishing stuff. I am most of the way through getting all the fishing stuff completed. So I've caught all the rare fish. I've got my pet, got my mount from the island. I'm about halfway through picking up all the coins from the fountain, and going to be picking up the artifact fishing pole later today. So there'll be a video for that later, soon. Patreon.com, the Nealls, that's where people are helping Neal, help other people earn more achievements. If you'd like to help Neal, help other people earn some more achievements, Patreon.com is where it is at. Thanks to our patrons. They make this possible. Ragnava, Zuki, Neal, Adafloozy, Tinder, Mulva, Carl, Lucky B, Infinitron, Shigan, Fantheria, Equinsa, Ucha, Morasha, Petsy, The Beer Guy, Limby, Coco, Nadi, Dwarfy, Azarea, Noza, J, Divad, Mystical, Zelo, Kaline. Thanks to those guys. And thanks to you. Y'all have fun storming the castle. And remember, fire is still bad this X-Pack. Y'all have a great one.